All right, we're gonna find out the hard way. I just did some stuff. I hope that we got it solved, man.
But we're still live, so we can get
Yeah,
cut off.
we live on somebody's platform. We just don't realize which platform it is. Last thing before we get into some. What was that?
Jimmy Mack says switched out on us. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, like I said, we were trying to get everything rolling, so it should pop back up. Jimmy Mack. I don't know, man.
O&G StrikeZone in the transfer portal.
Oh man. Last thing I want to ask everybody to do, if y'all been watching us on Sundays, one of my former basketball players when I was coaching high school, Miss Morgan Hunter, graduate of HBCU, Tupelo College, is trying to become America's favorite teacher. I am going to put the link in the chat in just a moment. I'm asking all of you all to vote for her. Your vote counts double today. And we're going to show you how easy the process is while I go through and vote for her live here on the O&G StrikeZone. And boom. You see how quick and simple that was? That's all I need you to do. Go and vote for Miss Morgan Hunter, HBCU grad. We are trying to get her to become America's favorite teacher. So link should be coming into the chat in just a moment. Link is in the chat. We need y'all to vote. Your votes count double today. It's coming, Karen. And I saw Mel on here, super producer for the Black College Sports Network. She's a member of producer. That's my producer too. My favorite producer. But
even though she did put it down.
That's all right. But Mel, she's a member of Sigma Gamma Rho, so I know you need to vote twice for Mel. So she is a member of Sigma Gamma Rho. All right, fellas, let's get to some business, man. We didn't waste 15 minutes with all this chatter. This is when y'all normally do the shout outs, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So, all right, let's go through. First one, checking in always. Chuck Hunt from where, Kelvin?
Monroe, Louisiana. What's up, Chuck?
All right.
Panama City finest.
Baby, 245. Hello from PC. Tamara T. Hello, champ.
North Carolina.
All right. Appreciate that shout out, Tamara T.
Cola.
Pensacola. Meredith, what's going on?
What's up, Meredith?
Mary, 305, always in the house.
305 in the house.
Another birthday shout out. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate you. Watch JDTV. Been gone for a minute. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Old dog Reed.
Tampa finest.
FV.
Tampa's finest. In relation.
What's up, Ken?
All right.
What's up, Ken? How you doing?
All right. There she is, super producer Belle.
What's up, Belle?
Not only is she super producer, but she's also an Aries. So she's just doubly fine with that one, man.
Represent. Hello.
Alice McCullough.
Alice.
West Palm in the house.
Checking in from PC. Hey, Vaughn, great job over there. Great job over there at Albany State this past weekend, getting that coverage for us at Albany State. I wonder if they had something to do with that Rattler connection. You know, Quinn Gray, Vaughn Wilson, FAMU football. Hey, I don't know.
I can't let you skip over my other the high. Now you got to go back and get me. I got to get it in. The high. There you go.
What's going on, Tony? Chandler Surfer. Where we at? We trying to get it figured out. Hey, once again, this is not Brian Fulford, so I'm doing my best.
Blame it on us. Don't blame the birthday boy. I'm
blaming on the eclipse, man. I'm blaming everything on the eclipse that go wrong this week, man. Ashton Harris. Yeah, go ahead. I'll show you where to get one of these at, man. You already saw. Edwin, what's up? Appreciate your shouts out earlier today.
What's going on, Edwin? Texas.
Let's see.
Miss Ashley.
This Ashley. What's going on, baby?
What's up, Ash?
All right. Gail.
Miss Gail, what's happening? Cleveland finest.
Is that Cleveland, Mississippi or Cleveland, Ohio?
No. Cleveland, Tallahassee right now.
Jimmy Mack.
Jimmy Mack.
What's going on, Treasure Coast?
Now, this the only thing I've been drinking, Edwin. This is the only thing I've been drinking because I had to do this show. Now, we're going to get this show done. We're going to try to get this show done on time so I can do some of the other stuff.
What's up, EA?
What's up, EA?
We're going to talk some football shortly.
Exactly. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I got any other ones in
Marcus.
here. Looks like JT. I don't know if you got JT already. Oh, Miss Demetra offered.
Yeah. We did put the link into the chat, so make sure you go back into the chat and vote for Morgan. Appreciate you, Karen. I know you've been one of those faithful voters for us.
Karen Daniels, Jacksonville. Okay. Mm-hmm. Duval.
Let's see. We got.
Yeah, Edwin, we're wearing our away jerseys tonight.
Yeah, everybody is in their white jerseys tonight.
Yeah, because in every sport we putting SWAC people away. All the teams. We just running everything.
I'll see if I can update that link for everybody. Now, Brian is actually out with his high school. He's chaperoning the high school senior trip. I talked to him earlier today, and I will just say it's been an adventure for my brother. It's been an adventure. Kerry Daniels, what's going on? Russell Haynes, what's going on? Demetra Alford, hey, what's going on? Jimmy Rush. Wait, but hold up. Jimmy Rush, hear me. Is that Booty Rush? That's all I got to ask. Yeah, is that Booty Rush from Tuskegee, Alabama, who's sitting up here watching us? That's my boy. If it is, what's going on, Booty Rush? That's a DJ. That is his DJ name, Booty Rush. Hear me, TV.
Hey, you the only one gonna call him that, bro.
Wait. See,
I can't do it, bro.
and the crazy thing is, nobody knows his. yes, Edwin. It's what I said. Nobody know that man's first name. That's his name. That's all everybody know him as. So, anyway. Quickly, we got time for the rattler roundup. Let's get something out the way with the rattler roundup. Let's get through it. How about let's start off with today's baseball game, man. FAMU failed to Mercer. Last time I checked, the score was
final
11-4. Is that what the final was?
That's the final.
Yeah.
5 errors.
See what I mean? Hold up. Y'all see that on the screen? DJ Booty Rush. So I'm not playing with y'all when I say that. Five errors. Did either one of you guys get a chance to watch that game, fellas?
No, didn't watch the game, but I saw we had 5 errors. We actually hit with them. I think it was like 14. We had 12. They had 14 hits. But we had 5 big errors, and midweek games. We talked about it. So on to the SWAC competition. And how about the team that we just swept over the weekend beat Auburn yesterday out of the SEC? And we joked around talking about the SWAC being the FCS version of the SEC. Well, we've got quite a few victories against the SEC this athletic calendar, starting back from basketball, men's and women's, to now baseball. So, yeah.
Now, if we pull the football one off, then we're gonna show something. Then we really gonna be talking about something.
Yeah, they might shut us down when we do that one.
I know. Come with torches and pitchforks.
Exactly.
However, since you mentioned about baseball, we are in first place And we are coming off a sweep of Alabama State, and also from a scheduling standpoint, we have more of the weaker teams left on our schedule than the better teams. Right? We got Valley several games. We have Alabama A&M several games. So we got that get back. We got to get against BCU. So we're in a really good position. We're playing really well right now, and kudos to coach and the team.
Right, and correct me if I'm wrong. The win streak is in conference is what, at 8 right now? If I got my numbers correct. Let's see, we swept the last 2 weekend series, and I believe we took the last 2
against Bethune. The last game against Bethune.
Yes. So we doing all right, y'all. I think baseball is going to be all right, and it's going to be a very interesting. And I'm gonna, since we're talking about it, which you think is going to be better for us? Right now, it's between FAMU and Bethune for the number 1 and the number 2. Which do you think will be in a better spot if we have to cross over and be the number 2 and face that Western competition, or stay and have that 1-3 matchup on our side? If
you remember last year, I believe that the Final Four was what? Alabama State, FAMU.
It was 3 East and 1 West.
Yeah. I see that being the same scenario. For our team, it really doesn't matter. I don't think we're defending conference tournament champions. We have a lot of returning players from that team. We know we're good. So I don't know. It might matter more for Bethune than us, but for us, I don't think it matters.
What'd you say, Marcus?
Yeah, I would say the same. It's always good to ride in the big chair. So, coming in, and it seems like, there's a lot of strength in the East. I haven't really kept up on the West, but I thought Prairie View was up there. But we're coming from a good, strong position. Our pitchers are showing pretty well in conference. And even the young men that are pitching during the midweek games, when we're typically playing out-of-conference opponents that are maybe in stronger rated conferences, they're getting some valuable experience that may bode well once we get in the tournament, because the moment won't be too big for them, because they've already pitched against a Florida or a Mercer or Illinois State or someone like that. So that just improves our depth and makes us even more formidable potentially for the tournament. All right. Let's put a pin in this conversation, fellas, because our first guest is here. When we come back, 3-Pete GT the third is going to join us. That would be Gerald Thomas the third of the Tallahassee Democrat. We definitely gonna get in some spring football talk. You think we'll have time to sneak in some baseball and some basketball talk? Maybe
absolutely.
Maybe he may know a little something about this basketball coaching search.
Let's see if we got some breaking news.
Let's see if what better place to break it besides the Tallahassee Democrat than on the O&G StrikeZone, right?
All right.
Amen.
All right, fellas. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for joining us. Updated link for Morgan is in the chat right now. Make sure you go and vote during this first commercial break before we come back. Gerald Thomas III. You are watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
Remix.
Y'all caught that, huh?
Yes, sir.
I pushed the wrong button. And the crazy thing is, I produce our show on Sundays normally, so I should be used to pushing these buttons. But the O&G StrikeZone layout is a little bit different than the BCSN Sports Rap layout. So where I normally would go to push the button for the Sports Rap rejoin, it's the O&G StrikeZone action intro. So
hey, muscle memory. We understand.
Yeah, I thought y'all was getting a little groovy. I said, they running it back.
What's going on, Gerald, man? How's everything going in Tallahassee, man?
Oh man, everything going good, just taking it a day at a time. I already know what I'm here to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even got to cut to the chase.
Yeah. Before we get into that, man, I just got to ask you, how's school going for you, man?
Oh man, school going great. I'll be done in the fall, so counting down days, man. Just trying to put in that work every day, and it's closer towards graduation. So everything going good.
Good. So what's up? This is the first time hearing of it.
What you say?
What's going on? You're in school?
Yeah. I've been in school for a little less than a year now. I'm doing the Master in Sports Management program at FAMU. So I'll be graduating out in December.
All right. Well, congratulations early.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, all right, Gerald. What do you want to start with? Baseball, football, or basketball?
Hey, I'm just
you got the big box. You got the big box right now, so you in control, man. Which one you want to start with, man?
I'm just a guess, but I know a lot of people here they want to hear about the football team, so I guess we can start off with that right there.
Yeah.
I mean, we only looking forward to the spring game on Saturday. Ain't nothing else really going on besides the spring game. Of course, there's more going on in the spring game because we the school of champions. But we're gonna start with our defending HBCU national champion, Celebration Bowl champion, and defending SWAC champion, Florida A&M Rattlers. How are we looking on that repeat, GT?
I always tell people when it comes to spring, I don't really take much from it. You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes, when nowadays with the transfer portal, you can lose your best player in the middle of spring, but you also can get your best player during spring, during the summertime, right before the first game of the season, the day of the first game of the season. I don't really think too much. I don't really think too much of it, but I think FAMU still got a chance to compete. The team is it's a new team. It's definitely a new team. When you go out there, it's like, all right, this isn't the same team from the past couple of years. There's a lot of new faces out there. I'm even still trying to learn who players are. Some people might swap their jersey numbers. So, but I think they still have a fair shot at winning the SWAC and having a chance to even go back to that Black College Football National Championship game. So spring it's been going pretty smooth. We finishing up. 14th practice is scheduled for tomorrow. We hoping this rain slack up so we can go ahead and get it in.
If it's a morning practice, you might want to cancel it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, the school is already canceled until noon, so I imagine that probably is included at this point.
Yeah.
They'll probably have to push it back.
Yeah.
All right. I know the one question everybody is asking, and I'm going to ask this before I turn it over to Kelvin and what. Yep, exactly. What's the quarterback battle looking like?
Oh, I think it's a very competitive quarterback battle because this team has scrimmaged 3 times during the spring, and I know that second scrimmage, Cozy left very impressed with how his quarterbacks perform, and a lot of times, during those skelly periods, during those 7-on-7 periods, they're dicing the defense up, both of the guys, Richardson and Julian Muratovic. So I don't think we're really going to know who is the starting quarterback during the spring. I think it's going to go into the fall. We might not know until the week of the MEAC SWAC Challenge. You know what I'm saying? They might want to keep Norfolk State on their toes and, announce the starting quarterback 2 days before the game. But, it's been a very good one. Richardson, he comes in with a lot of experience playing at Central Michigan and Florida Atlantic. And Junior, Junior has waited his turn all these years. He sat behind McKay, he sat behind Musa and patiently waiting. So, he's going to have some type of motivation to get that starting job, to land that starting job. So, it's heating up, and I think a lot of people maybe have their idea of who they may want to be the quarterback on Saturday.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Gerald, I know that a lot of people got a lot of different things in terms of what they're looking for. For me, it's the coaching and coaches with different roles and new coaches and so forth. So, one, you saw the team last year and covered them and the practices and so forth. What have you seen, if anything, different? Understanding that it's still the spring, so they're not showing everything. But what have you seen that you noticed different in terms of the practices? Is there anything sticking out offensively? Anything caught your eye defensively?
Differences. One thing I say is that, and I mean, this is something that you can say about Willie Simmons too. Coach Cozy, he has a reach on the locker room. Because when he was still trying to get the job, a lot of people advocated for him to get the job. So he has that command on the locker room. That's nothing that hasn't changed. Defensive wise, it's honestly the defense. I feel like defense is kind of low in numbers right now. Not many linebackers, not many defensive linemen also, but I think that still is a very competitive group. Those DBs, you got Kendall, you got the guy from Florida State, Demori, the guy from USF, Jamil Sanders. So I think the defense, once they get a full staff, they'll still be all good and set to go. But right now, with guys jumping in the portal, left and right. It's just kind of real. It's real hard to gauge them, but I still think they still hold a very talented team, and I think those coaches still got like the command and the respect of the locker room.
All right, and to follow up real quick, so I know they're not going to do the draft. At least that's what my understanding is.
Yeah, I haven't heard
because of the numbers and other things. Have you heard anything in terms of how they're going to run the spring game this year? Is it going to be a regular contest? When you have short numbers, sometimes coaches do different things. Have you heard anything about how they're going to do it?
That actually was something that I was going to ask Coach Cozy tomorrow at practice.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but usually, last year the previous years they, just mix it up. You might be the starting linebacker, but you might be playing next to the third string linebacker. So I'm not sure if they're going to split it offense versus defense, or they're going to do somewhat of an in-house draft, just not the big production that they've done over the past years. But yeah, I'm not sure. I was actually going to get ready to ask Coach that tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I guess, something similar to what Kelvin asked. in terms of the overall coaching style, how do you think the players have been receptive to it, even though Coach Colsey was an internal hire, but he is a different personality and may not approach it the same way Coach Simmons? How have you seen the players react to his style, and have you noticed any nuances based on where he came from, whether it be from coming over from Florida State and he holds Mickey Andrews in high regard, but also his time in Canada?
One thing I say about Coach Colsey, his post practice speeches are way shorter than Coach Simmons. He don't hold them very long during his post practice speeches. But I mean, I feel like Coach Colsey, he's still that kind of chill mannered type of coach that Coach Simmons was, and I know he wants to be his own coach. I know he's not trying to replicate that, but I think just the personalities match up. I feel no different working with Coach Simmons as I did with Coach Colsey. So he's still like that chill manner. Now I've seen him, sometimes when he don't play the radio with the guys, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he's still that same chill manner. And I think he's not really taking the head coaching job for granted. I think he's really trying to, just make sure he keep the ship afloat and keep them competing for national championships.
Okay, and thank you.
All right. Speaking of head coaches, Gerald, there was some rumbling. Some people say they saw a certain person's plane that was touched down in Tallahassee. Don't know how true that is or isn't. May have had another coach that he was recommending for the job in Tallahassee. What have you heard about the coaching hiring process, possible candidates, et cetera, et cetera? Drop the dimes while you dropping some stuff, man.
For men's basketball.
For men's basketball. I'm about to say, you still looking for a football coach?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, we did get one announced this week. We did get one. The QB coach got announced this week.
Quarterback coach, yes.
And there's some intel about the defensive line coach. Some speculation. We're not gonna put you on the spot if you've been.
I'm about to say, I know stuff, but I don't want to.
We want to make sure you keep your integrity and
I don't want to get my passes revoked. You know what I'm saying? I might get to the spring game and they got me locked out. I might have to jump the gate to get in the brag. But
we know how it goes. You got the article written. You just haven't hit post yet. We all know how that works, man.
But as far as men's basketball, I haven't heard much. I know there's been there. I know they have the committee, and I heard it was going to be a search firm. I'm not sure if they went through with that, but I heard I don't know any names now. I don't know any names. I'm just letting y'all know I don't know any names, but I know it's supposed to be some recommendations going out pretty soon. Maybe as soon as it might have went out today, you know what I mean? But I haven't heard much about the coaching hire. I'm hearing possibly next week, possibly the beginning of next week could be a coach. But at the end of the day, I'm not in those rooms, so these are just hearsay from me. So I'm interested to see who's going to be the men's basketball coach. So I'm ready to go ahead and meet them and go ahead and see how they get the train rolling for the basketball team.
Now, you say that's supposed to be the hire next week, or that we will hear some names next week? Possibly.
I was told it was possibly going to be a hire next week.
Okay, just want
that's
to
what
make
I
sure
was told. That's what I was told. Now.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to make sure that I heard you correctly.
I don't want nobody go out and say Gerald said no. I ain't said it. I'm just telling y'all what I heard. Now, so if you watch it, go around saying Gerald said this, Gerald said that. No, I'm telling y'all what I heard, what I was told.
Word on the street.
Yeah, word on the street. Word on the
street. Go ahead, Kelvin.
I'm gonna jump back to football right quick, Gerald. What is the mindset, the mentality of the team, the players, and who are the leaders? And just tell me about some guys you think that have stood out in the practice.
I say the mindset of the team is motivated. Like, I mean, they're fresh off a championship, but if we're being real, the team really never got a chance to really celebrate their championship. just with all that was going on with the program. You win the championship and you go on Christmas break. You go enjoy your family for the holidays, and then the new year come in, you don't have a coach, and then almost a month into the new year, you finally get a coach. So I think they're still motivated because I think a lot of people are counting them out because it's such a new team, new head coach. A lot of players are transferred out, and so I think those guys are really motivated. As far as leaders, the same guys. Coach Cozy, he's given the offensive line a lot of props. So those guys like Jalen Goss and TJ Lee, they've been real leaders of the team. On defense, I'd say Eric Horn, because you lose Isaiah Major to graduation, and of course Chaney is in the portal. So Eric Horn, he was a rotational piece his first couple of years here. So he's a guy from Iowa State, but he's a Florida kid too. So right now, as we look, they're looking to him to be that guy to hold down the fort in the middle. Another guy, James Ash, played at Wake Forest. He's been for a couple years. Interior defensive lineman, of course, General Hunt is in the portal. So James Ash is that guy that looked like he'll be that main interior defensive lineman. And he got the size to do it too. He's about 6'4", 280, might even be 300. I don't want to add no pounds on him. You know what I'm saying? So James
you can get away with it in football.
But he a big guy though, man. So guys hit the portal, but I think that you always gotta, like Cozy said, there's a plan. We got a plan.
All right, and let me follow up real quick. In terms of the guys in the portal, is there any sense as to them staying, withdrawing? I know one or two have visits. I know like Gentle, he's had a few visits, as a matter of fact. Just give me your sense of that whole portal deal. And it seems to be hitting the defensive side more right now. And I know there's agents and folks who, and that part worries me a little bit. The portal don't worry me. That's just the way it's going to be. That's the new normal. But in terms of folks getting in people's ears and maybe trying to influence people who have a great situation where they at to seek the possibility that may or may not be realistic elsewhere. Just kind of talk about that whole portal thing.
Yeah, I'd say with the portal, trying to think how I can say this. I think it varies from player to player. Some of those guys that may have played FBS football may want to get back up to that level. Some guys, they may want to go somewhere where they're going to get some NIL. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of it. And I think that's something that FAMU should really look into. I watched our episode last week with Miss Ashley on here. Like, I think if FAMU really get an NIL, I guess, collective, for lack of a better term, together,
it's coming.
I think a lot of those guys will stay because you entice them a little bit. Like you get them a little incentive to stay instead of jumping in the portal. And I know when I talked to Mr. Eddie Jackson earlier, he said some of that $1 million that they're going to raise for athletics by the end of the year, some of that is going to be reserved for NIL opportunities. So I just think that's a very important thing right now. I mean, if a guy want to jump to FBS, is really nothing you can do about that. But I feel like the NIL, that's something that's controllable. And I know it doesn't come from the athletic program per se, but if it's people out here that's business owners, those guys, they want those NIL deals. I see those guys put out tweets about, point me in the right direction of NIL. It's a reason they're doing it. It's a message behind it. So, when you get that in order, I think that'll help a little bit with the guys jumping in the portal. But always, guys are always going to want to test themselves on the next level, and that's Division I FBS too. So,
okay, all right.
I got a quick 2 questions for you, Gerald.
Yeah.
The first one to kind of follow a little bit on Kelvin's question. Of the new players like Amantra Edwards or any of the mid-year transfers, have any of them stood out? Especially, I think since Mantra Edwards is the only defensive lineman transfer that we've gotten so far.
Mhm.
And the other part is actually on the NIL piece. Gosh, I just slipped my mind. But you go ahead and answer that first part, and I'll see if I can remember the second question.
Yeah, I like Montre. I like Montre Edwards. I'm not sure how to pronounce Mantra. I'm not sure, but I like Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Physical kid. You know, he got FBS experience. Played at Mizzou, and I think he played somewhere else too. I think he might have played at 2 FBS schools. I'm not sure, but no, he played at Mizzou. Played JUCO. So a lot of those guys that play JUCO, they have an extra, little chip on their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Because they call them JUCO bounce backs. You know what I mean? So he not went to JUCO. He not came back to Division I, and I think he'll be a very important piece to that defensive line. Another player on defense, like I mentioned earlier, Demore Tate, former 5-star out of high school. I really think I'm really excited to see him play because when you come out of high school and you're that highly touted, and maybe things didn't work out the way he planned it to or wanted to at Florida State, but he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder too, because I talked to him yesterday. It was my first time getting to talk to him. He said, "Hey, I'm just coming back off from injury, but Coach Cozy has been doing a good job in building my confidence back up." And he said they also relate a lot. I mean, both of them played at Florida State. Now both of them are at FAMU, so they got that. They got like that little connection. So those are 2 guys on defense, 2 new guys that people may not know about just yet, that I look forward to seeing on Saturday and when the season starts in August.
Okay. And the second part of my question, it kind of deals with the NIL a little bit, but also goes back to what you mentioned earlier about the team not really having time to enjoy the championship. And there's been a lot going on these first 4 months between Coach Simmons going to Duke and then the coaching search and everything that involved. And then the advent or the convergence of the portal, the NCAA ruling that not the ruling, but the court injunction that stayed the NCAA's rule against multiple one-time transfers. So now you can see multiple moves. What is your feel of the pulse of the team with all these things happening and all these things swirling around? And, we just want to enjoy the championship. It's like there's every other week there's something going on.
Yeah, I mean, it might have its impact on the players, but if they're still here at this point, maybe they want to stick it out. Some of these guys, they love FAMU so much that they don't want to leave, and that could be said about even the guys that's even in the portal. But it may just be their circumstances. You know what I mean? They may feel they have a better opportunity elsewhere on the FBS level. Maybe chasing the pros, or like I said, NIL. So yeah, it really sucks that those guys really didn't truly get to enjoy their championship, man, because that's the first one in program history. You know what I mean? Those guys are forever history. Those guys, when future FAMU teams win Celebration Bowls, the 2023 team is always going to be the first one to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it sucked that they didn't really get to truly enjoy it. Hopefully, when they had the ring ceremony on Friday, it kind of, get the joy back a little bit, for the time that's lost. But also, I think those guys aren't really dwelling too much on it. I think that just made them want to do it again.
Okay. And there's a question about wide receivers in the chat. I'm not sure exactly what. He just is asking about wide receivers.
Wide receivers.
Just offense in general. What's your observations?
A lot of wide receivers. You got Ace Cobb from Florida Atlantic. I think him and Richardson actually played together at Florida Atlantic last year, so they got prior connections. Who else in that wide receiver room? Ja'Cory Jordan is actually playing wide receiver now. He made the move quarterback to wide receiver. And he looks like a wide receiver. Like,
he's athletic.
He's an athletic kid, out of Jacksonville. So he looks like a wide receiver. And I know it's a few more wide receivers coming in. The guy from Texas Southern, Quay Davis, Amari Johnson. He hasn't practiced yet, but he's been out there. So I think he might be coming off an injury or something like that. But wide
Gervonta Davis, is he out there?
Who?
Gervonta
Davis, yeah. He should be. Gervonta Davis, man, when he plays, like whenever he plays, like he looks good, man. Like when he played against USF last year, because he has the size. He has the size that match up with those FBS DBs. So I'm really looking for big things from him. He actually one of my classmates too. So we talk outside of football sometime, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of year he's gonna have, because I know he's been chomping at the bit. He not sat behind Xavier Smith, K. Dodd, Marcus Riley. He not sat behind a lot of receivers, but I'm excited to see what he's gonna do this year.
Quickly, before we get you out of here, we've got some people in the chat asking about the running back room, specifically the running back from Florida State.
Running back from Florida State is not at practice right now, but the running backs do look good. Kelvin Dean, of course, he's the guy that's returning, the Celebration Bowl offensive MVP. Jaquez Yant still doing with Jaquez Yant actually looked like he trimmed. Yeah, like he trimmed some, like he got a little trim. And I said that's the same thing Terrell Jennings did before last year, and that's why he ended up having a good year, because Terrell Jennings I trimmed down and I got my speed back. Another guy, young guy, Bo Somerset. Yeah. I'm liking what I see from him, and I know he's a guy that can play a lot of positions. Might throw him at a slot, might throw him at just that traditional running back. So I think they're going to keep that three-headed monster. But Rodney Hill, he isn't practicing right now, but Coach Cody said he should be with the team once the summer starts.
All right. Quickly, the hardest position to evaluate in spring camp is are the special teams, especially the kicking game, because really all you get to do is to see them kick, because special teams normally don't go live. Anything you've been able to pick up from the punting and the kicking game, field goal, kickoffs, etc.
Yeah, well, thankfully, Coach Cozy, he incorporates a lot of special team drills in practice, and actually special teams, they determine how many gases the team gonna run at the end of practice. Punting, you're good. You still got Will Hoyt. Will Hoyt can boot it 50 yards if you really want to. So punting wise, still good, and then kicking wise, you're still good too, because you got Cameron Gillis. Cameron Gillis, he was an all SWAC kicker last year. He's a pretty good kicker. It's other kickers there too. And they got another guy from FSU, Max Larson. I remember one day he was out there booting it, man. Like he was out there. He had a leg, man. He got a leg. So it's a lot of special team guys out there, and I think they'll still be good kicking wise. I know last year there was a little iffy on coverage at the beginning of the season, so that's kind of hard to determine. At the beginning of training camp or during practices, you kind of got to wait to the game to see that one right there. But yeah, kicking wise, they looking pretty fair though.
And no matter what they do, I don't think we'll see a special teams play to open up the season like we saw last season. So put the kickoff return on the first play of the season for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was special right there. When that play happened, I knew what kind of season it was about to be.
Yeah. Quickly, is that Tupac that I see on your shirt?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right. Last words, Gerald. So we got another guest waiting, man. Last words. Get us out of here.
Sure. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Y'all tune into keep tuned into the O&G StrikeZone, but also tune into my work. I drop stories. I try to do them. Well, I don't really try to do them every day, but it feels like every day. Tomorrow I should be coming out with my spring game watch list. Gonna have some players for y'all to watch if you're tuning in to the spring game. And man, just keep supporting. I appreciate all the retweets, all the comments, all the messages that I get. So thank y'all for having me, and hey man, just keep checking me out.
Thank you, Gerald.
All right then.
Thank you.
And with that, we will be back here on the O&G StrikeZone. Got a lot of people saying thanks, and they appreciate your work there, Gerald. And when we come back, we will have Coach Houston,
champion,
the champion,
number one seed.
Got a lot of returning champions coming on the show.
Man, we rattlers. We got a lot of champions, period, on the highest of 7 hills in Tallahassee. But we brag different. Yes, we do. We definitely brag different. Hey, y'all watching the O&G StrikeZone. Thanks to Gerald Thomas. AD sitting in for Brian, Kelvin, Marcus. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Itchy, squirmy, scratchy, family not getting clean? Get Charmin Ultra Strong. Go get 'em. It just cleans better. With a diamond weave texture, your family can use less while still getting clean.
Goodbye, itchy squirm.
Hello, cream bottom.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
I hit the right button this time, fellas. So
I like the replay.
With the right. I don't know if Coach Houston was watching us after the first break, but I hit the wrong button, played the wrong rejoin song. Actually, I played the intro instead of the rejoin song. But anyway, Coach Houston don't want to hear about that, and the people on the other end don't want to hear about that either. Before we get to Coach Houston, I want to tell everybody to remember to like, share, and subscribe to the O&G StrikeZone and to the Black College Sports Network. Let's get those likes up, y'all, while we're on here. And thanks to all of you all who have voted for Morgan Hunter thus far. Let's keep this going while we are on this show. Let's get her back in first place, and let's get her a nice enough comfortable lead so that she doesn't have to worry about it. Voting ends tomorrow, and you can vote once per day for America's favorite teacher, that being Morgan Hunter, former player of mine, Tougaloo alum, HBCU alum. We're going to make her an honorary Rattler today, since she's a HBCU grad, via B, through osmosis, since she played for me. And I hope you feel that way about some of your ex-players, Coach Houston, as they go on into their professional careers. Anyway, how you doing, Coach Houston?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Always. You know, I will say this. Growing up, baseball was my first love. Basketball was my favorite sport. But my dad and my mother used to have me playing tennis all the time. And sometimes I get mad at myself because I went to a Caucasian high school where, you know, nobody on the tennis team looked like me. And that's the only reason I did not play tennis in high school. I was good enough to play on the high school team, but I did not play because all my friends was running track, because we couldn't play baseball either. They didn't let too many of us on the baseball team. So just had to throw that in since we're talking about tennis. But congratulations, Coach Houston. Another share, another conference championship. This time you had to share it. Just talk about that, how special that is to repeat as regular season champion.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was great. That last match, we had to pull it out to become like the co-champions. I think the young ladies was excited at the end of the match, but I think with that loss earlier in the year, it made them more hungry and wanted them to get out there and practice a little bit more and understand that, you know, each team is definitely trying to get that win. So I think, you know, losing that early definitely made us a little bit more motivated and was ready for the last match that we played.
Yeah. And it looks like, once again, just like last year, if my memory serves me correct, the weather guys did not do you guys a favor, as you guys had to win 2 matches in 3 days because of earlier rainouts. And the reason I bring that up, because that happened the week before the tournament, does having to play back-to-back like that, or two and 3 days, does that actually kind of prepare you more for the tournament? Because essentially that's what you guys will be doing this weekend instead of the regular once-a-week format that you would have during the season.
Well, we do play roundups, so that kind of gets us a little bit of how we're going to be playing in the tournaments. So when we play those SWAC roundups, or when we're playing 3 matches in a row, it kind of gets our ladies conditioned and prepared mentally for when we go into the tournament.
All right. Last question before I turn it over to Kelvin. Speaking of those roundups and those mental preparation, how do you both physically and mentally prepare for not only the grind, the physical grind of playing in the tournament, but the mental portion of it? You know, on the road, you got these opponents, and in theory, it come tournament time, you should be playing the best of the best from the other competition in the SWAC. So how do you do that? You know, getting up for a match, go to the hotel, eat, get some rest, got to get back up for the next match on the next day. How do you prepare your young ladies for that grind that they're going to have to deal with this weekend?
I think, you know, for the beginning of the season, we make sure that we have a tough schedule against different opponents throughout the season, which gets them prepared of what we're going to go through at the end of the season. So I think when we are scheduling our matches, we make sure we schedule tough matches to prepare them. And then through the week, we kind of go over our mental of what do we do that weekend pass? How can we get better? What conditioning, and with our strength and conditioning coach, and then when we're on the courts, conditioning wise, how we can improve each week for that tournament play that we know is coming. So, you know, just being consistent throughout the season and getting them prepared for this weekend that's going to be coming up.
Go ahead, Kelvin.
Congratulations again, Coach. Very proud you came through. Now, talk about the journey this season. You know, you come in as defending champions. You went through last season without really losing a set. You swept the conference. This year you had a little adversity early in the schedule, and you know you had to be perfect down the stretch in order to get the share of the tournament. Then you end up being the number 1 seed. So, you know, I know the team is, you know, mentally and physically, you know, they're confident, you know, they've been here and done that. But I guess from your coaching standpoint, is there a benefit from having that adversity and having to fight through that adversity and then succeeding? And then also explain to me the tiebreaker for how we number 1.
Let me explain the tiebreaker real quick. So It is a 3-way tiebreaker. So we basically, between the 3 teams, we went off of what the wins were, and then that's how we figured out who the number 1 seed was, and then they go into head-to-head after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we essentially we beat more teams by we won more sets, I guess, against like
more
competition.
games. Right.
Yeah.
More matches. We won more matches.
Yes.
In those. Correct. That's correct.
All right. Okay. Got you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's you good. Last year was a whirlwind. We did go through undefeated. I think sometimes, you know, when you get into those the conference plays coming back the next year, you kind of on your high horse a little bit, and you think people just gonna lay down and just because you're coming in and play. But I think these teams really wanted to show that they was going to be ready this year, and they found out early, which I'd rather be early than late if we're going to lose. So, you know, like you said, it was adversity. It was definitely a wake-up call for them, and it got them back mentally prepared that, yes, we're going to have to work for what we're going to. Nobody in this conference is going to give it to you. You're going to have to work for it.
Okay.
Okay. Right. And Coach Houston, that was kind of along my lines of the question. Even if you sensed it intuitively or may have felt it among the team just coming back, that maybe even a natural sense of, I wouldn't call it complacency, but having gone through and having such a young team and then being undefeated in the conference last year, could that have been a potential pitfall? And what level of maturity have you seen from the young ladies this year that may bode well for the tournament?
Like you said, we do have a young team. They are growing. And what I learned and what they learned from that loss is that, you know, you have to go in and understand that these teams are going to make you work. And if they're going to make you work, then you're going to have to put in the work. And I think my girls work hard anyway, but they put in that extra work going out there by themselves, you know, put in that time on the ball machine with their teammates to show that they're even more hungry than they were before, because, you know, you're going to get a learning experience. Sometimes you learn more when you lose than when you win. And I think from that loss, they learned that they going to have to go out there and really put their A game or B game or C game or whatever game you need to pull out a match.
Okay. Hey, coach, to that point, would you say that you all have set a bar, a standard, and so the teams in the conference are starting to recruit and run programs and become more competitive? They're getting better.
I think the SWAC conference has always been competitive. I think we're just a new face, and they know the style that we're kind of bringing in, the new recruits. And so they know that they're going to have to recruit just as much. But I think they've had good teams in the SWAC. And I think we're just another team that just added on the depth that is already in the conference. And we're just going to have to go back and forth of, you know, finding good recruits and battle it out.
Good answer, Coach.
Nice and political.
Good job.
Everybody, if y'all were not paying attention, that is coach speak 101. Just want to let y'all know that. Coach Speak 101. Coach Houston just gave a lesson in it, a live lesson on the O&G StrikeZone. All right, Coach.
When do you guys
Did you have
depart for the
another
conference? Yes, when do you guys depart for the conference?
We're leaving
Championship.
next Thursday.
Okay.
We will be down there for our meeting when they give out awards. The first matches start on Friday, but we don't start until Saturday since we have that number 1 seed bye.
Okay.
Right. And speaking of that schedule, Southern Alabama A&M and Jackson State will face Prairie View. Those games will be on Friday. Our Lady Rattlers will take on the winner of the Southern and Alabama A&M match on Saturday. That begins at 9 a.m. with the championship match scheduled for Sunday at 9 a.m. Obviously, Coach, I'm not going to ask you which one that you rather face because your job is to prepare for both of them. But can you tell us the differences between your two opponents that you may have to play on Saturday, their styles? What's the differences in how you guys will have to approach those two?
Yeah, I think they both give a little bit of difference. I think Southern's team, have a rich history of winning, but they're also very feisty. They can bring their crowd out there. It is right close to home, so we're gonna have to probably go against a lot of their alumni that might come out there and start cheering. So I think that crowd is definitely going to probably be there. And then Alabama A&M is a little bit more mild, but they definitely also bring a little feistiness of making you play, making you bring your A game as well. So I mean, personally, I look for who to focus on.
All right. And also, like we talked about, Reagan Harris, one of the many Rattlers that was named Player of the Week in our multiple sports this week. But we're just going to talk about tennis right now. Talk about her and any other young ladies that you want to highlight right now.
Yeah, Reagan definitely got co-player of the week this past week. Reagan has been just getting back from injury and she's been playing very well. So this past weekend, she really played more consistently and was able to, get a lot of balls in and give her opponent a lot of frustration. We've had a lot of player of the weeks throughout the season. I think Sarah Rakim has had multiple player of the week. She's done a phenomenal job this semester of playing in conference and out of conference. She's been doing really well. And then Rebecca Gaines, she's won player of the week. I think my freshman won Larissa the week before. So these young ladies have been doing a phenomenal job of taking care of their court and playing well, not only in singles, but in doubles as well.
Right.
So, Coach, what needs to happen to bring home that trophy again for your team?
I think our young ladies just need to come and play. I mean, we already talked about, working hard and mentally being prepared. I think if they come in and have that focus and is ready to know that, we're going to have to, if we're going to be out here all day, we're going to be out here all day. If we're going to be that person is going to get off the court, we're going to get off that court. So I think the mentality going into the tournament is knowing that you're going to have to be able to outwork your opponent. Regardless if you're playing well or not playing well, you got to be out there all day. Bring your lunchbox is what we usually say. So hopefully these young ladies are ready. We'll definitely this week, definitely have a light week and then really get prepared on Monday for those days that's coming up.
Do you adjust your lineup at all, Coach, when you playing in a championship like that, or do you kind of keep it set?
It's set at the beginning of the week. We kind of turn in our lineups unless somebody is injured or sick. We keep the lineups that we have going into the tournament.
Okay, all right.
Marcus, last questions.
I don't have one right now. Just want to wish Coach good luck in the tournament and
Appreciate
look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We do have one from the chat room. Edmund Moore wanted to know what types of matches are in the tournament, singles, double, etc. Is it similar to what we see in the regular season? Does the format change in the tournament?
It's the same. It's the same as the regular season. So we'll start off with doubles play, and whoever gets the point, and then go into singles play, 4 points. It's clinch. So the first one's 4 points.
Gotcha. All right, Coach. We're gonna get you out of here, and we're gonna make this real easy. We're gonna get you out of here with the last word. So anything that we did not ask you that you wanted to bring out, any thing you want to say, don't forget the SWAC Tennis Championships are held in New Orleans. So we need all our NOLA Rattlers to come on out and support, come out with that. We need that green and we need the orange and green to drown out that whatever them colors are that they wear down there in Louisiana and everything. You know, we don't like none of them other colors. But go ahead. Last words, Coach.
Yes, I'd like to thank y'all for bringing me on to talk about tennis. And also anybody that's, like you said, is in the area, please come out, support us. We would love the support. We had great support last year, and we hopefully have enough support again this year.
All right. And with that, we hope those Rattlers will strike, and strike again. You know, I want to see. Number one, I want to see a few aces on some of them serves. You know, that ace where she don't even move after the ball. It's just going past. Like just. I'll let the team know that. I'll let the team know tomorrow. Hey, all right. The aces for AD. The aces for AD. Let's just let them know. Hey, Rattler Nation is with you, Coach. O&G StrikeZone is with you. Black College Sports Network is with you, Coach. So. Once again, we'd like to thank Coach Nikki Houston for joining us for this segment. And coming up, y'all, on the other side, we have Jordan Moore, who is football recruiting, FAMU Recruiting News. He is going to tell us what's going on. Maybe some of those NIL questions and all those transfer portal questions that y'all was asking. Gerald? Let's see if Jordan can help us out with some of those and a few other things. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, you are watching the O&G StrikeZone. AD sitting in for Brian, Kelvin, Marcus Green. We will be right back in just a moment.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
I'm returning to Clinton Parish, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Parish, we take the pain out of being hurt.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. AD sitting in for Brian, Kelvin, Rochelle, Marcus Green, and joining us for this segment is Mr. Jordan Moore. But before we get into the interview, everybody, I want to remind everybody to, if you have not already done it, please like and subscribe to this podcast. Not only to this podcast, but all the podcasts here on the Black College Sports Network, like Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, the Carlos Brown Show, the BCSN Sports Wrap, and so many more. You can, if you want to catch the replay of these, you can catch them on our YouTube channel. That's my JBN, or you can also catch them on the BCSN Pod Zone, which appears everywhere you download your favorite podcast: Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, and so many more. Now that I got all the necessary reads out the way, what's going on, brother boy? How you doing today, man?
How y'all doing, man? I just want to start off by saying thank y'all for having me. Appreciate y'all for everything y'all do for us. Speaking for football. I've been tuned in for y'all for a minute now. So it's really a pleasure to be on here with y'all guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. So
hey Drew.
Yes.
Can I get the first question on this one?
Bro, you can have the mic, you can have the controllers, you can have everything else, man. Please take it over.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna explain why I wanted to ask this question first. So, Coach, you came to FAMU,
right?
And since you've been at FAMU, you've got a degree, you've got a championship, and now you've got a job, and you're coaching. And so I've seen some of the things you talk about and you post in terms of, your journey from where you were to where you are. So just kind of share with Rattler Nation and the audience at large, man, this journey.
Right. It's been a journey, man. Some people know about my story, some don't. But I was a 4-star recruit out of high school. I went to a small town where, if I would have told everyone the goals that I had when I was the age of 10, they would have laughed at me just because it's uncommon where I come from. My town full of 5,000 people. Doesn't mean people got where I'm from. Like I said, I was a 4-star recruit signed to Texas A&M in high school. I was Jimbo's first signing class. Went from Texas A&M. My cousin had ended up getting an assistant head coach job at the University of Houston. So I went from Texas A&M to University of Houston. I was like kind of that first little wave of the transfer portal. Went to University of Houston, seen some early playing time, seen some early success, and it's not an excuse, but started letting my grades slip, so I had to go JUCO. Went to JUCO for a semester, and that's where Coach Simmons found me. So when I talk about my journey, I really just speak on, it's kind of a couple people won't really understand when I say it, but it's reality. And me, Coach Simmons, we spoke on it a few times, but when you're a 4-star out of high school, you realistically, you're really not signed to HBCU, if we're just being honest. So just to see how my journey went, unfolded, and how I got to where I am today, and honestly just beat by the doors that FAMU has opened for me, or that I opened for myself, and that I was able to walk into. Like I said, it's amazing, and that's really why I feel like I got this position. Coach Cozy knows I understand what it's like to be a recruit. I'm the type of guy that can recruit kids, and it sounds different when you're getting recruited by a guy who knows what you're talking about. Like, I can actually tell kids and actually mean it, like the grass isn't greener everywhere. On the other side, like it doesn't really matter where you go. I was at, like I said, I was blessed to go to Texas A&M, a top SC school, one of the top schools in the nation. If you're talking about football, school, anything, and now I ended up at FAMU. I got a degree at FAMU, and like I always say, like I said, the grass isn't greener, or isn't always greener. Like if I could go back, I'd choose FAMU 100 times. Like if I don't know what I know now about FAMU, I would choose FAMU over that Bama offer, the Clemson offer, those type of schools that reached out to me. FAMU is a special place. It's always going to always hold a special place in my heart. Just what it really means to Rattler Nation. Just walking around campus or going in the store or anywhere and just seeing people that actually know you. They don't just know that you're a football player. They know your name. They know where you come from. Like I done had a couple of FAMU fans just tell me just about myself. You know what I'm saying? Things that I haven't even put on social media. They just went and read, or they know somebody who knows me and knows the type of person I am, but just things like that.
Yeah. I just thought it was real important for people to hear that because it's real. It's real, and people relate to that. Rattler Nation, I know myself. I appreciate that. All right, sorry, Drew. You
done took this segment over, man. Keep going, man. You the pilot of this shit on this segment, man. Keep going, Kelvin.
Well, I want to give Marcus a chance to jump in then because Marcus is he's our recruiting guru anyway, and so go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, I have a couple questions. I guess first, if you could elaborate what made you decide, or how did things go down in terms of you becoming the on-campus recruiting coordinator, and differentiate a little bit. Does that mean that you are the lead recruiter and you're kind of backfilling for Coach Riz, or are you filling another role that was created for you? And that's
before you answer question. Before you answer that, Jordan, y'all need to behave in that doggone chat. I see y'all. We see everything that y'all doing over there in that chat. Dr. Lori gonna cut you. She got scalpels and everything else from that doctor's office, from that dentist's office. She gonna take care of y'all. Y'all better behave. I'm sorry, Jordan. Go ahead, man.
Nah, but so it was always in the works. Like ever since I came to FAM, I'd say probably about. Well, for those who don't know, I came to FAM. Let's see, the season before the season. So I guess 2 seasons ago, or 2 seasons ago, I was part of that group that 21 people who couldn't play because we got misadvised, right? So most people that would have went through what I went through, like I said, through the recruiting process or through my college career, they would have hung it up, right? But like I said, this place was so special to me, just the people from top down, literally. The fan base, everyone who's involved with Rattler Nation, it was so special to me. I knew this was something I wanted to do. Like I wanted to be a part of FAMU, like some way, somehow. And I always tell people I feel like I was running away from my purpose for a minute, trying to make this football thing last. But knowing my purpose was really getting to coaching or recruiting. Like just like I said, the things I've been through, like I know I can touch a few kids. And strive them to keep going, So I reached out to Coach Simmons right before the season ended. Like, man, Coach, like if I don't get a call to the NFL, like or get a shot, like I want to be part of the staff. Like whatever I got to do. Like if that's recruiting coordinator, I'm an assistant recruiting. If that's defense, offense, GA, like Coach, I don't care. So I'll work with strength coach. Like I don't care. And actually, before I got this job, I was helping the janitor. We got a janitor named Wendell. I was helping Wendell like every day, like clean the locker rooms, clean the facility, like not getting paid. I was just helping him out just because I wanted to be a part of FAMU. Like I didn't want any money. I'd go up there and help him at 6 p.m., when everyone's away from the facility, and he can tell you, I just go up there. Like I said, like I just wanted to help anyway. I just wanted to be around the program in some way, somehow. Like wasn't getting paid for, wasn't nothing. I was just going to help. And this was during the transition when we're looking for a head coach. Like I said, Coach Simmons ended up telling me that he'll make room for me, right? He ended up leaving. So when he ended up leaving, Coach Cozy, I kind of figured Coach Cozy going to get it just from me having so much respect from the guys on the team and them telling me like that they really want him, and just by hearing how they talk, I kind of figured it was going to be him. So I went to Coach Cozy way before he got it, and I told him like, Coach, like I want to be a graduate assistant. I want to do something like I want to be involved with this something. I kept bugging him every day, like, Coach, like I want to do it. Coach, I want to do it. Like I just want to do something. I want to help. So then when that happened, he told me like if I get it, like I'm gonna look out for you. And I told him like, Coach, like I only want to do it if you're doing it. Like I only want to do it like if you get the job. So he ended up getting it, and then he called me in his office, and like he told me like he's still working some things out. So I gave him a little space. Like I'm gonna give Coach a little space. So what I'm saying, he just got the job. So let me give him a little space because I know it's kind of hectic for him. People are blowing up his phone and things like that. So he told me like he's gonna get back to me, and like 2 weeks went by, he never got back to me. So I got kind of down, like, man, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Had a few schools reach out to me about being a graduate assistant because, like I said, I was highly recruited. So a lot of people know through my recruiting process, and they wanted me to come, and I was just like, man, like I don't want to leave Tallahassee, like I don't want to leave FAMU. But at the end of the day, I had to do what was I knew I had to do what was best for me, and then it was crazy. This was on a Tuesday. I had called, I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, man, like I'm not gonna go into detail on the school, but I was like, man, like I'm gonna go check this school out. Like I'm finna leave Tallahassee. Then Coach Cozy called me on Thursday, like come to my office. And when he called me in his office, he was like, we got a defense. He's like, they gave me 4 positions. He was like, we got our offensive GA. He was like, I can't make you that. He was like, we got our defensive GA, so I can't make you that. He was like, I already want you to work in recruiting, just because of things and how you can touch kids. And he was like, I want you to work in recruiting. And as soon as he told me that, like I was just like, man, like I got to take it. Like, but my job is I'm the director of on-campus recruiting. So whenever a recruit comes to campus, they're with me. I show them around campus. I do things like that. Show them around campus, show them the locker room, weight room, equipment, and just show them around. Also go and like actually recruit kids, like getting their phones, getting their DMs, and actually recruit, break down their films and stuff like that, and send them to coach. And like I said, y'all can ask any coach. I'm in their phones all day. Like, Coach, this is a cat right here. Like, Coach, like I actually got a couple of kids to commit. Got like 3 of them to commit already, from Texas. But yeah, I'm working though.
Okay. All right. And I guess the second part of my question, you kind of answered just a little bit with the last thing that you mentioned. About Kelvin, remind me, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, during our first year, we had someone who was a Rivals, a contributor, Brandon Howard, and he he covered from Florida to Texas. We had him on the show, and he talked about that, I guess for schools that are really serious about recruiting Texas, you can look at how many offers they make to see how serious they are. And it looks like you're trying to change that a little bit. I know we've dabbled a teeny bit in Texas. I'm not sure how that pipeline actually happened, maybe from Coach Simmons and Coach Black having been at Prairie View. But it looks like you're trying to have a little bit more of a pipeline west of, I want to say, Alabama, and pull into the
west
Texas.
of the Mississippi.
Yes. So can you speak to that a little bit more and what your vision is in terms of bringing some of that talent to FAMU?
Whenever you have an argument about who plays the best football, no matter who you're talking to or where they're from, it's going to be 2 states that pop up, regardless. It's going to be Texas, it's going to be Florida. I tip my hat to the Florida guys. The speed down here is unreal. It's something I really never seen before. Like it's crazy. The speed of the game. They know how to run down here. But everyone knows if you want to go get those big guys who can get nasty in the trenches, you got to go to Texas. You got to get them from Texas. So I'm kind of trying to bring that here. And like I said, I know I got a lot of respect when it comes to football in the state of Texas, just from what I did when I was in high school and through my recruiting process and stuff like that. So I'm able to reach out to some of those coaches down there that maybe guys on our staff really can't, like those schools like Duncanville and the Cadies. Those are the powerhouses in Texas. I'm able to reach out to guys on those staffs like that and actually talk to them And like I said, I come from an area where it's really underrated. What I'm doing now, what I did in college is really unknown. Just because of it's so small and it's so underrated down there. And going down there and just finding the hidden talent, like in that South Texas area and stuff like that. So I'm really just trying to bring a little mix to it. And the way the transfer portal is, you got to mix it up a little bit. Kids go all over the state and it doesn't feel like home to them. And like for me coming from Texas, like, fam, you just felt like home, like everything about it. Like if you can go to one part of Tallahassee and it's like a true city, it's like you're in Houston. You go to the other part, it's like you're in a country town, like you're like where I'm from, like it's a little country. You go fishing, hunt, you can do stuff like that. So it's it just felt like home. And like I said, I know regardless of where you come from, like you can fit in here. And the biggest thing about me is like I tell kids all the time, like if you really like don't get in my phone just telling me, hey coach, I want to come to FAMU, like I want to offer, like when can you come down here? Like when can you come down here and visit? Because if you can't do that or if you can't schedule that, like you don't want to come here. And then I know the impression FAMU's gonna leave on you when you leave this place. Because that's the impression left on me. Like when I came here, I was just come just to visit. Ended up falling in love with it. Like I'm texting Coach Simmons every day. Like at this time we had Coach Sharp was a DB coach. I'm texting Coach Sharp like, Coach, when can I come down here? When can I come? Like, Coach, I'm ready. Like he's like, hold up, like we gotta finish your stuff. Like, all right, Coach. Like Coach Sharp gave me about 3 days. And I was supposed to be at FAM in like March. I ended up coming to FAM and probably like right before fall camp started. I'm like, but nah. So just trying to bring some different stuff in here. We play good football here, and if you look across the board in our roster, not all the guys are from Florida. Not every starter is from Florida. Isaiah Major was the best defensive player on our team. He's from Oklahoma. Jerry Moose was the best offensive player on our team, and he's from California. So just mixing it up a little bit, and like I said, the type of environment we have is, and the type of culture we have is very family oriented. So no matter where you come from, when you get here, you're gonna feel like this your family, regardless of who. If you go meet an alumni, go meet someone who works in compliance, just no matter who you meet. So that's what that is.
Okay. Jordan, I want you to talk about. I want you to just talk about for a minute the season, the championship season, that journey for you from starting off, against JSU, a team that we, had been a hurdle for us the previous 2 years, to finishing it off in a Celebration Bowl after falling behind to a Feisty Howard team. Just talk about that. What was that like, man?
If you would have asked me what I would thought about our team let's see, we started fall camp about August 4th. If you'd have asked me about our team around August 4th, I would have told you that that's what we're going to do. I would have told you there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but I would have told you that then we're going to finish strong. And a lot of people say that, but that's real. A lot of people don't mean that. Like, no disrespect to anyone, but I mean, Mississippi Valley head coach probably told them they're going to win a championship last year, but we actually meant it. And if you really go back in my Twitter and see, like, before, let's see, we started fall camp August 4th. Like, I was tweeting August 1st, like, championship or bust, because that's the mentality that we had. Like, I was actually on the leadership council, and that's what I kept telling, like, the other leaders on our team. Like, it's a championship or bust season. Like, it's either championship or nothing. Like we had that mentality, like all season. Like, it's either, like I said, championship or nothing. Like, I don't want second place. I don't just want to be conference champs. Like, if we were going to win the whole thing, or this whole season didn't count. Like, regardless of how you look at it, like, that's the mentality that we had. And once we were able to install that mentality into everyone in that team, like I said, it was 100 and probably like 5 of us. At least 90 people believe that, and at least 90 people like actually meant that when they said that. Like, when we break it out on family, like, a lot of people break down on family, but they don't mean that. Like, we mean that. Like, hey, we might fight on the field, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when we're out and about, like, that's my brother. You don't mess with him. You know what I'm saying? And once you install that in your program, like, it's easy to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I know, like, we getting up every day at 6 a.m. and You're not getting the person beside me isn't just getting up and going through and coming to workouts because he has to. He's getting up and going to workouts because he's trying to accomplish something bigger than himself. Like, it's easy to win. Like, it's easy for me never to give up on him. And so that's, like I said, I knew we were going. I knew it was going to be a tough season. And then the Howard game. So we went down early in the Howard game. Y'all know that we went down early, and I could just like the one thing of like that keeps coming back in my mind when I think of that game is when we went to the locker room. Coach Simmons was just telling us like we're losing to a team that is nowhere near as talented as us. Like, this shouldn't even be a game, and we're losing to them. Like, mind you, we're losing at this time. Like, we're losing, and this is what he's telling us. Like, he's really getting on us, and you know what I'm saying. If you know Coach Simmons, he's saying some other stuff, but you know it can't. But see, like he's telling us like this shouldn't be a game. Like, we're not changing up the game plan. We're not doing any of that. Like, we're going to execute it. That's we're not coming in. We're not going to change stuff up. We're going to go to the game plan we have. We're going to execute it. And just like I said, if they had a camera in the locker room and you could just see how the players on the team were reacting and responding, it was amazing. Like, everyone's going up to each other from freshmen up, just telling each other like, we got this. Like, we know what we're going to do second half. And then second half, we just played FAMU football, the football that got us there. I don't know what we're doing the first half. Like, I don't know. That wasn't us. That looked like us the first day of fall camp. But second half we came out. Like I said, we played FAMU football. When you looked in the stands, there was a lot of orange and green, and they were there to see FAMU football.
That's right.
That's right. Now, I had a quick question for you that I noticed. Well, I know on the show, and you've seen this show for a while, so myself, Kelvin, and Brian have talked about it a lot, and looking at the change in the roster as it relates to people who have graduated, exhausted their eligibility, and I guess our perceived area of need for the team. I noticed within the last, and I'm looking at my spreadsheet, I might share that with you a little bit later, but within the last week or so, maybe the last 10 days, there has been a flurry of offers for defensive linemen across different categories, whether they're from junior college, whether they're people in the portal, and even a couple, maybe sprinkle the high school or two, maybe as a walk-on or preferred walk-on. So I know you can't speak on any names, but is that part of the strategy in terms of renewing or reloading for this year? Because every other position seems like it has a pretty good depth when you look at special teams, and you look at the 18-member signing class that happened in the mid-year and the early signing period. There's some depth in just about every position, with the exception of defensive line, which had about 5 or 6 guys who were, I believe, have exhausted their eligibility from Stanley Mentor. And also, gosh, I'm forgetting some of the other gentlemen's name, but there's a few who've exhausted it. So is that part of the strategy?
It actually is. So, you know, as everyone can see, everyone has social media, so they can see Gentle Hunt, Alan Smith, Sharif. When you lose guys like that, you got to go replace guys with guys that can go do something now. Like, you got to go replace those guys with guys that can make an impact now. We might not get a type of dude that means as much to Rattle Nation as Gentle Hunt did, just because Gentle Hunt was a 3-time All-American, freshman All-American. Then you got a guy like Alan Smith who came here from Louisville, who came here as a linebacker, ended up going to DN and probably playing better at DN than he would have did at linebacker. Never played DN in his life. And then you got a guy like Sharif who last year, I remember when he came here, he was going through Ramadan and he was playing look like, I don't know if y'all been watching basketball, look like Kyrie Irving right now. You know, Kyrie Irving out here dropping 40 points during Ramadan. That's what Sharif looked like. So when you lose guys like that, you got to go get guys that can play now. And like I said, those guys, I was actually having a talk with one of our coaches the other day and just telling them, like, we might not find a guy who means that much. We got to find we got to find a guy that can come play some football, because those guys, they weren't just great football players. Those guys were just great. Those guys, they were great teammates. Like they came and worked every day. And so that's what we're trying to find right now. We're trying to go find some guys that can come in and play in the trenches and stuff to run and also get after the quarterback, because what we do best is we get after the quarterback. That's what we do best on defense. And if we can't do that, I don't know how good we'll be on defense. So that actually is a strategy right now. We're trying to load up on the D line right now, and then we'll worry. I feel like we'll worry about the rest of the position right now. But I mean, if you ask me, I feel like the rest of the position are good. We got a lot of young guys who are ready to take that next step in their football collegiate process right now, and ready to play some football and ready to play some good football. So yeah, with the D line, that's a need right now. So we're going out and getting some guys, and I actually think within the next, as we're winding down with the spring ball, and as we finish, we're going to be having a lot of announcements, some big time announcements. I'm actually working on one right now, which one I think this one's going to break the internet maybe for Rattler Nation, but can't say his name, but it's going to be the one right here. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
All right. And just as a quick
let me jump in.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do we have recruits coming in? I know for the spring game.
We do. So we got a couple coming in. We actually do have a couple. I can't go into detail. We have a couple, and then we have a like I said, we had actually been having a few on campus. Some guys that we need right now and that we want right now. We got, like I said, we got a couple during the spring game. I know the biggest one that we wanted during the spring game was Quay Davis, the receiver from Texas Southern, but he committed to us. He should be down here in May. He's another guy, 4-star out of high school. He was committed to USC out of high school. When Dion got the Jackson State job, he ended up going to flipping from USC to Jackson State. Dion left Jackson State, so he went to Texas Southern. We wanted to go back home. We were able to get him from over there, and I know he was one of the guys that was on our scout report during Texas Southern game. Like, we can just stop him. We'll be good. So we were able to get him, and like I said, I thought he was going to be able to make it, but he's not going to be able to make it. But we got some other guys that were hopefully we can get this weekend. So it's going to be a good weekend for Rattler Nation regardless.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you.
And just looking at my little spreadsheet, I guess for Rattler Nation, I know we have a lot of, I guess, hype around transfers, but our sign class, the people that we just signed in the early period, we actually have 8 FBS transfers, and we have 7 high schoolers.
Right.
So that would probably be a shock for people to understand. We have 2 FCS transfers and 1 junior college signee. So these are just the folks that have signed from the December early period. And so there's a balanced recruiting, and we're not really swinging. I mean, now it looks like it because, of course, we're past the high school, except for those who may have fallen between the cracks. But, the transfer portal gets a lot of the hype, but we have a pretty balanced class of the people that we signed so far. And some of the high schoolers maybe prefer walk-ons, but our areas of need, like a DN linebacker hybrid, one very highly touted defensive lineman out of South Florida. Actually, the DE linebackers also out of South Florida in that South Broward area. So we have a pretty balanced recruiting, and we're not swinging too far one way or the other.
Right. So we're pretty balanced right now. We like I said, anytime you can get some guys signed during that early process or get some guys that come on campus early is always a good thing. Because like I said, we do things a little different here. So anytime you can get guys down here just so they can learn the playbook and see how we operate here, is, like I said, is always a plus. And then you always want to go get some guys after spring ball. Spring ball is actually good because you can see like what you're missing. Like I said, the team that they see this on Saturday isn't going to be nowhere near as good or as talented or as big or fast, strong, or whatever you want to put it, as like they're going to see when we had that first week 0 game. And you can actually see in the locker room those guys are ready for Saturday, ready to get it going. And also, like I said, they're ready to get over because they're ready to go out and recruit as well. Like, guys in the locker room, they come to me every day like, hey, what do we need? Like, I got a homeboy that play here. I got a homeboy that play there. Like, what do we need? Because like I said, like I've gained that respect during my 2 years here from those guys in the locker room. They seen the type of person I was, the type of worker, the type of leader and teammate I was. So like I said, they have a lot of respect for me just like I have for them. So they come to me every day like, man, like what I need to do to basically make your job easier. Like, who do I need to reach out to? And I tell them all the time, like, man, whoever you got, send them. Like, they a dog. Like, I trust you. Like, send them to me. I'm gonna go send them to me. I'll check them out. I'll pass on the head, man. you know how it goes. So that's but like I said, yeah, we're trying to keep it like a little balance. And then like I said, you don't always want to load up heavy on that during that early signing process as well though. Because like I said, like you want to have room to bring in and fill those pieces in if you know what I'm saying, if a position doesn't look as strong during the spring, or like okay, like we're good on that position. You know what I'm saying? Like then you can go and add on to it or do what you gotta do, move guys around or whatever after spring ball. And that's what we're kind of doing with the D-line. Like D-line, we came in early and we knew like we need some D-linemen. Then like I said, when you have I don't know, I can't name a starter that came back on the defensive line except for James Ash. So like we gotta go out and get some guys. So we seen that we needed that position early.
True. I apologize earlier. I had some connectivity issues. We got a storm down here in
yeah, we do.
In the South Georgia, North Florida area. So I guess I got sniped. My internet got sniped due to the weather or whatever. But so a couple questions, and I need to go back to a statement that you had made earlier. You mentioned that you were part of the group of 21 that went through the certification issues a couple of years ago. And I want to ask you this. Why did you, even after dealing with that, why did you stay? Why did you feel you needed to stay at FAMU? Because a lot of people, when they had to deal with that, would have packed it in and got the heck up out of Tallahassee.
Right,
but not you. Why?
Right. Like I said, this place just meant so much to me. Like when I say that, I really mean that. And I remember last year, Coach Simmons was going through a talk to the team, and he told the team, he was like, like Jordan Moore, like I've never seen him like have a bad day. And, I've had bad days before, but I've never shown that just because like I said, the type of love that I get when I come here and go to the store, go to the grocery store or something like that, like it just means so much. And that's outside of football. Like before I played it down for FAMU, I was just so I was highly just respected down here just because the type of person I am, how I carry myself and stuff like that. Like I said, you can't walk out on people like that. You can't walk out on good people. You just can't. And you definitely can't walk out on family. And they like I said, I'm from Texas. And when I came out here, like it just felt like home. Like I just love Tallahassee. Like I just love it. And I'm the type of person, I don't go party, I don't go clubbing. Like I haven't went partying or clubbing since I've been in Tallahassee. And that's just not me. And I just like I said, I just fell in love with FAMU. I just couldn't leave. I couldn't turn my back on. I was FAMU's biggest fan last year, going to every game. Like it never really processed through my mind. Like I never really asked God why. I never said, God, like, why am I not playing? Like God, like after everything that I've been through during this recruiting, during this football stuff, like why? Like why can I not play? Like that never came through my mind. Like it just happened. Like I was just happy to see Isaiah Major doing what he does. I was happy to see Kavard Stevens going to get sacks, Xavier Smith scoring touchdowns, Isaiah Land getting sacks. Like I was happy for those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I was happy to see those guys that they're doing what they love to do. I just knew like whenever I get my chance, I'm just gonna make the best of it.
Now you say you didn't do any partying since you've been in Tallahassee. Well, I don't know about you or about any of these other people here on this chat, but I got enough in for you, bro. I got you covered with my days when I was in Tallahassee. A couple more things before we get ready to get you out of here.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you had a couple kids that you've helped sign or already signed. And I think back to my early collegiate coaching days when I was coaching basketball, and just talk about that feeling, because I know what it felt to me when I actually went out.
Right.
I found that person, not nobody else sent it to me. I'm the one who saw that person playing.
That's mine.
I'm the one who got the film. I'm the one who sent the film up to coach. I'm the one who got coach to come watch him play. Right. And because I did all the vetting, talk to the kids, coach, talk to the kids' family at games. I did all the vetting and everything else, got them on campus. Went through the recruiting process on campus, the workouts and set, all that stuff, and then got on the side. And since you do at the game, you still haven't had the benefit of the back end when you see that person that you got have that success, get that degree and to go on and do it. And for me, yeah, I got lucky, but it was also good. My first one really did something, took home a couple conference awards. So for me, it was the first one I ever did, took home some hardware and all that other kind of stuff. But just talk about so far through that process, that feeling on the inside as you've been going through that process. I don't think most people who haven't been recruited can't understand what you and I are talking about.
Right. It's a great feeling, and I feel like it's a little better feeling when like that you actually got them, and you didn't have to try so hard to sell film. Like I seen someone just put in the chat like it's easy to sell film, and that's right. Like just come to homecoming. See how much people really love the school. Like just like walk on Perry Street. Go walk on Perry Street. First of all, you can't do anything else but pay attention because you can't be your phone during homecoming. Like if you anywhere on campus, you're not getting service during homecoming. We all know that. Like you got to be tuned into what's happening around you. Like you just have to be. So, but it's a great feeling. Like I said, like just being someone who, like I said, like had its ups and downs during this recruiting process. Like if you'd have told me when I was getting all these offers from Nick Saban and guys like that, like that, I was going to have all these ups and downs, have all these, what I'm saying? This, let's see, like I don't know, I can't even really just put it into words, but it's a great feeling. Like I said, like it's just better when you know that you were just real with them. When you know you didn't have to tell a recruiting lie or anything like that, because like I said, they know I've been through it. And the last thing I want to do is see a kid go through what I went through during recruiting or during my college journey. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Like I don't. Like it's been emotionally draining. You know what I'm saying, for me and for my family. Like, like I remember like when I told my grandma I was going to Florida. She almost cried because she was like, "Dang, like you've had enough with this recruiting. Like you've had enough with this college football stuff." I told her like, "Man, like I just, Nana, I call her Nana. Like, Nana, I can't just give up. Like I can't." So like I said, like when I recruit kids, like I tell them the real, and I actually mean it. Like I'm not going to come in your phone for you just to be a spot on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna tell you what it really is. I'm gonna tell you the ups and the downs, and if you come, it's on you. But I know you're gonna respect me more when you leave this place because I was real with you. Then you go somewhere else and they just tell you the ups, and you go over there and it's not what you think it is. Now you calling mama every day, other than you just being homesick. Everyone gonna get homesick, but already you call mama every day just because you homesick over here. Like, hey, so when mama say, "Hey, were you having fun?" You can at least say yes. When mama say, "Hey, are you taken care of? Are you around people that love you?" You can at least tell her yes. So hey, so why are you calling me? I'm just homesick, mama. Okay, we can deal with that. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like you get over that fast. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But for you to come here and be around people who actually care for you and love you, and when you see that I give you that same love and attention, and when you get on campus that I gave you during the recruiting process when I was trying to get you here, that's gonna mean a lot.
And my last question that I have for you is, I mean, obviously you were just playing ball last year. So how has it been as far as you went from I'm your teammate to now I'm a member of the coaching staff with some people who you've been in the trenches with. Right. So just kind of talk about that, the respect factor, because you got to get their respect, but they also got that. Yeah, bro, but I remember when you A, B, and C and everything like that. Right. So just kind of talk about that respect factor and that transition that you're still going through that transition, going from the player side to the young coaching side.
Right. I feel like if you ask anyone in that facility just about me, the type of person I am, teammate, leader, and stuff like that, they're going to say the same thing. That I'm just an honest, a real and a lovable like just person. Like they haven't seen me go out like that. They haven't seen me go drink, go do anything like that. So when I tell them something as when I'm their coach, like the feedback isn't, "Oh, coach, you telling me this, but I seen you do this." Like, what have they seen me done? Like, do like I went to practice at 6 a.m., went to class, went to study hall treatment. I came home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't do anything else. So, and they kind of already knew that. I feel like they knew like this was my calling because they've seen, like I said, they seen how I carried myself. They seen how I got on them when they're slacking. Like a couple of guys on the team, they'll just call me OG because I was just like one of the older guys, and I was an old head and an old soul. And I just, like I said, when they used to ask, hey J-Mo, they call me J-Mo. J-Mo, you going out? Like, nah, like I ain't going out. Like I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can come to my house, like we can play Madden or something. You know what I'm saying? We can do that, but I'm not going. I'm not going out. But like I said, it's still a different. It's still kind of a rough transition, I guess you could say, just because I guess, like I said, I've always been the type of person I want to see I love seeing the next person smile and making the next person smile. So I go to him and I give him like a little joke, as being a coach, like I got to be a little serious sometimes. But if I see someone having like a little down day, like I gain so much respect and know so much of those guys, like know so much about those guys. Like I done legit have one-on-one talks with guys, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they telling me stuff that most people don't know just because like they know like I'm always an ear. I'm always an ear and I'm always going to tell you, you know what I'm saying, the real. And so if I see someone having a down day, I'll go to them, you know what I'm saying? I'll bring back the old J-Mo, like crack a joke with them and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or when coach yells at them on the field or something like that, like I'm the type of person, I'm going to walk to that same person and be like, come on now, you know you messed up. And I feel like it's a little better because I can tell them that. I feel like if someone else tells them that, they're going to be like, all right, coach, like it's whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just the coaching you. But they know me, like they know I actually mean that, like, you know what you messed up on. Like, I can go up and tell someone, it's a different feeling. You can go up and tell someone like you're wrong, and they be like, yeah, I'm wrong. They call me Coach J-Mo. They call me Coach J-Mo as a joke now because they know like I'll sit there and laugh with them or whatever. But so they say Coach J-Mo, and I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know you're wrong. And they'll be like, yeah, I'm wrong. I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? They'll go back and do what they got to do.
Awesome.
All right. Gonna let you have the last comments before we get you out of here, Jordan. Anything you want to get out? Anything we didn't ask you? Anybody you want to shout out? Anything you want to add to this interview?
All right. I mean, I don't have anything to say. If y'all have anything else to ask, or if there's a question in the chat, I'll be more than, you know. So I don't have a certain time I got to get out of here, but I'll answer it if anyone has a question just regarding. You know, say not really going into detail on certain names, but just a question about FAMU football or about myself, I'll answer 2 or 3.
Have y'all seen anything? Because I know we've been having a lot of beef going on in the chatter. So they've been listening to the interview, but I don't think they've been putting in the type of comments that we need to be putting on the screen.
Right.
I'll add this this question. So, have you talked about? Well, who are you reporting to? Who are you working with? Who's working with you in terms of recruiting? Are you right now just working with all the coaches because there's not a recruiting director, so to speak, yet?
Right. So, like I said, I'm the on-campus director. So when someone comes, they're with me. But I'm under Coach Cozy, which is the head coach, and then Coach Winham, who's right now he's the director of recruiting. So okay. I work under them, and okay. Like I said, those are my guys. They're like when I was a player, those are the type of guys me and Coach Cozy had, you know what I'm saying, talks on different, like outside of ball. Like Coach Cozy, my spring game, because you know how we took the orange and green game way serious last year, like it was a whole draft and everything. So Coach Cozy was my head coach for that, and you know what I'm saying, that's what me and him created the relationship that we got now. So so it's kind of easy to go talk to those guys, and they like those type of guys. They'll come in, like they got so much respect for me, and I have so much respect to them. Like they'll just come to me and be like, "Hey, do this," and you know what I'm saying, like I don't care what time of day it is, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it to the best too. But yeah, so that's who I work with. And but like I said, I work with the other coaches as well. Like the tight end coach can come up and tell me something, and I'll go try to send them some guys and stuff like that. And like I said, I send every coach on the staff different type of guys. So I mean it's a group effort for sure.
Okay.
All right.
And
A
then
couple questions from the chat.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
all right. A couple questions from the chat. Kenya Sykes asked Jordan what he thinks we need to do to get recruits to commit. Are we lacking anything? And we already know we lacking defensive line. We already know that's a focus right now. But what do we need to do to get these ones that you guys are chasing to sign?
I said, like I said, one of the things I say is just the biggest, I guess, difference from the here and the P5 schools is just the fan interaction on social media. And the one thing that I've seen on social media that I just don't this is one that I just disagree with is, you know what I'm saying, when guys go into the portal, like let's work on supporting them. You know, let's work on just hoping they find, you know what I'm saying, what's best for them, because we've all went through something in life we had to do what's best for us, regardless of who you are. So that's what and these are 18 to 23-year-old young men who's trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has a family that they're trying to feed one day. I know how y'all are. I know how y'all would be if someone tried to take food off y'all's table or of y'all's kids or family's table. Y'all wouldn't like that. So let's encourage them and just remember, like, when we lose somebody, let's encourage them. But we're gonna bring someone in. Like, we bringing dogs in. We're not losing nobody, and we're being like, okay, like we love them. We're gonna wish the best for them, and they know that. They know how I am. But as soon as I see someone going to the portal, I'm going for that same position. Like, that's how it works. I mean, it's a business. It's a business on both sides, and little do people know, but that has an effect on recruits as well. Like, when they see the negativity that fans tweet about our current players, like, they don't want to come here. So let's just keep
you good while you good while you had on the orange or green. Now we can't stand you because
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if we're gonna say once a rattler, always a rattler, we gotta stand on that though. Once a rattler, always a rattler. So let's make sure we do that. Now, if someone's just bashing our program when they go in the portal, okay, I can see how you just turned it. You know what I'm saying? I can see how you just be all right, bet. That's how you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You're not a rattler. We're gonna take your rattler stripes away. But someone who, you know, definitely someone who legit thanks the program, thanks the fans, thanks the coaches. Like, let's show him love and just wish. And the best that we can do is just wish that, you know what I'm saying, he realizes the grass isn't green always on the other side. And, you know, he knows he always has a home if he wants to come back. And most kids that go in the portal, what people don't know is they're not. That doesn't mean they're out the door. Like, a couple of kids go in the portal. It just, you know what I'm saying? Just because they feel like they're not in the best situation, and all coach will say is, okay, if you feel like that's what's best for you, then do it. It don't take them long to realize, like, hey, like, FAMU's a special place. We've seen Isaiah Land do it. Guy who plays for the Colts right now went to the portal. What do you do? End up coming back, end up getting picked up by the Cowboys. So you know, like, let's just show love.
Next question comes from James Austin. Will we have walk-on tryouts?
We will. But that's more of a cozy question. I've had a couple people reach out to me about that. But I know we will. But they're trying to finish up camp dates and all that as well. So, but I'm pretty sure it'll be around then.
Right. Last question is going to come from Ashley C. What do players look for in a program when committing?
See, nowadays a lot of players look for different things. Like, it's always about the money. Like, for some reason, I don't know when it got like that, but it is now. And I remember the other day we were having an actual talk, and I told someone, like, I can't really relate to kids like that because I've always been process driven. You know, like, I've always, my whole life, I've been process driven. Like, it was never really about the end rewards to me. Like, it was always about, like, what I can really do to just, you know what I'm saying, to make me better. Like, I've enjoyed the process and everything I've been through. You know what I'm saying? When I was down, I enjoyed being down because I knew, like, it couldn't rain forever. When I was up, I enjoyed being up. You know, I've always been process driven. But nowadays, kids look for the money, and, like, they haven't even put the blood, sweat, and tears in it yet. You know, like, in order to get that award, you gotta work. Like, that's why I say, so if you're process driven, like, what's for you is gonna come. But so it's kind of hard. That's a kind of hard question. I mean, I know the kids that we look for when we're recruiting them, I can answer that. Is just, you know what I'm saying, like, great guys, great character. Of course, great athletes and stuff like that. Guys who really want to win. But I can't really answer what kids look for in recruit because it's so different nowadays.
Right. Got one bonus question I do want to get in here. Is there an intentional effort to recruit portal players back?
50-50. You've seen once you go in the portal, you've seen all that we have to offer you. So it's like you're either gonna come back because you love the guys you play with, you love the guys that coach you, you love the fans, and you just love, like I say, you just love fam, or you feel like leaving is what's best for you. And so I mean, when they go in the portal, like I said, by me playing with most of the guys and having an actual real relationship with most of the guys, I could just get in their phone and I send every guy the same thing. You know, like, I love you. First of all, I tell them I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, like, I told you I love you. We're a teammate, so I'm gonna tell you I love you when you leave. Like, and like I mean it. Like, I'm telling them I love you. I'm telling you that first, and I'm gonna send the same thing. I'm gonna say I just wish the best for you. If that's here, it's great. If it's not, great. But you know what I'm saying? Just and that's all you can do. And sometimes that's really enough. Like sometimes a lot of guys go in the portal because they feel like, you know what I'm saying, they weren't loved, or they, you know what I'm saying, they're mistreated, or somewhat. Most guys go in the portal because it was somewhere was unfair along the lines. So, you know, like, I just show them that respect when they're leaving, and I actually be in some of the transfer portal guys' phones more, not being like the recruit phone guys. You know what I'm saying? Just because, just to show them, like, okay, like, I got this position, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I got you, like, regard. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like no one has you, I have you. And I also show them, but they know, like, how Cozy is. Cozy a great guy. Like, every guy that's in the portal isn't because or most. I can promise you, like, none of the guys in the portal because of Cozy. Like I said, a lot of guys, they're just they're getting false information from outside sources. They're seeing 19 or 20-year-olds going and making $4 million and $3 million, stuff like that. So I guess they feel like that's what they can do. And if they do that, that's great. But if not, like, they know they can come back here and really grind. Because, fam, you, like, you know what I'm saying, we're just a bunch of blue-collar workers. Like, we know we ain't making no meal here. We don't care, though, because we love putting that orange and green on. And I promise you, I don't care what my financial situation look like. When we're playing in Bragg Stadium, man, forget that. During homecoming, when all these Rattlers on campus, I know I ain't got to bring $1. Rattlers got me.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha, man. All right, Jordan, man, we appreciate you. This obviously this interview ran over, but man, there was so much good content here. We had to keep it rolling. We definitely had to keep it rolling. Last thing, you want to shout out anybody back in Texas, man?
Just shout my family out. You know, my family. We got to get them. Rattler fan. I'm gonna tag my mom on Twitter. Right, I'm gonna tag on Twitter. I just need all y'all to go tweet her and tell her she gotta come to the game. I might not do it tonight, but I'm gonna do it soon. We gotta bring her to the game because she ain't seen. I think she came to like the Lincoln game. We gotta get her to a game. When we see, we gotta do it big now. We gotta do it big.
Hey, now, but before she get the game at Tallahassee, we need to put on a flight and get her to Atlanta because we need her at the SWAC Challenge to cheer on our Rattlers in Atlanta.
We're gonna get it in.
We're gonna get it there.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it for sure.
Let's get Mama Moore there. I don't know if Moore's her last name, but let's get Mama there. We just gonna say let's get Mama there.
Because I can't hear.
So what's that?
He might have lost his sound. You still got us?
I don't know if I did something on my end or what, but it's probably on my end.
Can you hear me, Jordan?
Nah, I think he lost sound.
Look like he done got sniped down there in Tallahassee.
I think I did it right here.
You good?
All right, now you're on mute.
Now you definitely went the wrong direction. Well, anyway, we appreciate you, my brother. We appreciate you. Audio connectivity. It's time. We long overdue for a break, fellas. When we come back, we gonna turn the show over to Marcus. We gonna get some recruiting news in, and we gonna get up out of here because I still got some birthday I need to do, fellas. So, I just appreciate y'all, man. AD Drew sitting there for Brian. Thanks to Jordan Moore, Marcus, Kelvin. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
Don't ask me what button I push, fellas, because I don't know what button I pushed.
Push them all. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Well, I show pushed the one that caught him by the toe. How about that? Hey, me Drew here sitting in for Brian, messing up the keyboard. Kelvin, Marcus, and I promise you that I haven't put anything in this bottle yet, but as soon as I get rid of y'all tonight, I will go ahead and put something in the bottle, man. I just want to let y'all know I got some libation waiting on me, man. I got some libation waiting. All right, Marcus, this is the time of the show where everybody's been waiting for. What's going on the recruiting front?
Well, the file I have, unfortunately, is too big to upload, and I ran out of space, so I can't upload. Now, that's one that transfers out of the program. We can kind of go over that a little bit. So these are the folks that have declared for the portal. And hopefully I've captured everyone. Now, I did not include the folks who were early signees and backed out. I'm keeping that on a separate list. But the list here represents some of the folks that I've been tracking, and hopefully I captured everyone, but there may be 1 or 2 misses as it relates to people who declared the portal. And at the end, the last slide actually shows the folks that may have backed out of the portal. So we have, as you can see, we started out with a lot of the skill athletes, from wide receivers, athletes, and defensive backs. Now, we did have General Hunt, who originally declared on December 28th of last year, and then re-entered the portal on March 19th of this year. So I have in orange any players that re-entered. And when you look at this list, a lot of it, the first few may have been folks who didn't get playing time, may have had some challenges. I don't really know, speculate, but there are names that we hadn't really recognized until we get down to Tevin Griffey, who is a standout on special teams. And you also notice that with the exception of a couple of D2 transfers, most of the folks were recruits that we had out of high school that had various degrees of playing time, whether they were reserves or even starters. So you see General Hunt, and that starts the wave of some of the defensive starters being approached or feeling the need to at least explore options in the portal. And then we say Johnny Chaney. And the only two that I think we've seen some type of indication of a landing point, or Marquez Phillips, a wide receiver, transferred from Virginia State in 2022, and Tevin Griffey. And we go to the next slide, and then we see a lot more defensive folks are getting taking the option to at least explore the portal. Lovey Jenkins, and there's thought that he may also be looking at getting in the portal again. It may have pulled back, but then go back in. Alan Smith started right around the time when they had the coaching transition, and then pulled back and then jumped back in recently. Leland Wilhoit, Cardell Thomas, Sharif Safe. So now we're seeing a lot of different positions, still really heavy on the defense. And so, we look at that, and then today we at least see a tweet that Anthony Dunn is considering getting in the portal. So I haven't done a run-up of all the numbers, but I guess it's probably around 17, 18 players if I do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably about 18 players, 18 and 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 18 players so far that we know of that I count here. And there may be some that I've missed, but I'll try to keep track of everyone. And we're seeing some of the highlights in terms of Anthony Dunn and Gentle Hunt, some of the returning stalwarts on the defense that were hoping to provide a foundation for keeping the defense at least at the very top in the FCS level. And then we have other strong contributors who came on, like Deco Wilson the last couple games, and especially in the Celebration Bowl, and Lovey Jenkins and Alan Smith. So we're seeing a lot of folks who had a strong influence on the defense over the course of the 2023 season exploring their option in the transfer portal. And also one of our stalwarts on offense and offensive line, Cardell Thomas, has also expressed an interest. So we'll have some talent that needs to be replaced. The three folks that I believe, this isn't the updated one, and I did not send you the updated one, but I believe Winsome Fraser tested the portal early and removed himself on or around January 6th. Kobe Gross, I think, had a quick in and out. And also Trevante Davis, one of the wide receivers we mentioned earlier. I think he mentioned early in December about getting in the portal, and there was an indeterminate date of when he pulled back, but it sounds like he's been practicing and has been doing very well then. I'm not aware of anyone else. But it's a pretty exhaustive list, and we see that we're going to have to rebuild some on the defensive side of the ball.
I think I counted like maybe 14 of those 20 names that you just put on the screen were on the defensive side of the ball.
So, yeah, we do have some rebuilding. In some of those spots, we have talent, especially in the skill position of defensive back. Not to say that we would diminish the contributions and capabilities of the people who have jumped in the portal. But I think previous recruiting efforts have done a pretty good job with the skill set as it relates to defensive backfield. The biggest challenge is going to be that defensive line, because you can't really skimp on that. And we already had at least 4 or 5 folks who exhausted their eligibility between McCody Robertson, Stanley Mentor, Donald Hall. And so a couple of the stalwarts who have been there for a couple of years, or those who were there for a short time, made an impact, were seniors or graduated. So we have at least 4 or 5 defensive linemen that were interior defensive linemen who have happened to have either departed just based on eligibility. And then now we have General Hunt, who is going to probably be the leader of that group, testing the portal and jumping in for a second time, which would seem to indicate that there's that his time in FAMU is pretty much done.
All right.
So the only thing I add to this, Marcus, is that I saw folks was asking about how many were graduates. A significant number of them are grad students, have already have degrees.
Yes.
So that's one positive. Then and just looking at the list and some of the names, I do predict that it at least six of them will probably withdraw their name out of the portal. Some of the bigger names who's got a lot of film, you just never know. What they might offer when they put their name out there, but essentially when you go to a program, and I'll say this for any program, but when you coming out of even in the transfer portal periods, and this being a new norm, when you go into a group of 5 power 5 school, specifically when you're going up, most of the time your opportunity is there at this late in the game. If you didn't go in this at the end of the winter, fall, going into the spring, and you missed the whole spring, you're looking at rotational opportunities. Just being realistic, it's tough to go group of 5 power 5 to a team you don't know, a playbook you don't know, players you don't know, an environment you don't know, and they've already they've already recruited their team and their players. So it's just tough. We've seen it. We've seen it with some guys recently who Kamara Stevens would be a great example. He went group of 5, but he really did not have the impact or the opportunities that he would have had he stayed and been a part of this program. So those are all things that kids have to weigh. I have no problem with them weighing all the options and so forth, but those are things that there's some good side to it. There's some downside to it.
Right. Unless Kelvin, those players who you say are going up to the big majors or the power level, unless there was some coaching change that occurred at those schools late, and those kids who entered the portal late, going to those schools who had late coaching changes, may actually have a chance at doing something, because a lot of times with those late coaching changes, those coaches are looking for players, because a lot of those players who are at that institution are transferred out. So those are those unique circumstances where there may be some opportunities for people, not just from FAM, but from any program who jumps into the portal late.
Group 5 and Power 5 programs generally don't have late hires, though.
Not as late as our hires are. But there have been some hires that occur after, especially after that first portal day.
And to that point, like Coach Moore was saying, and I know there may be outliers here and there from different schools, but I mean, you can't begrudge a General Hunt or some of those guys who are graduates, already have a degree in hand or will have it by May. They helped build the culture in the program. They have the degree. They have a championship. So if they want to explore and use their last year, I mean, for me personally, I don't begrudge them in doing that. And I wanted to ask Coach Moore something. It's the kind of question I asked last week, but I didn't get a chance. Is we're getting to the point now where our coaching staff on the collegiate level needs to have an equivalent role to what someone has in the NFL in terms of negotiating with agents, whether it be the GM, assistant GM, director of player personnel, something like that, because it's getting to that point where someone has an NIL agent and they're looking to maximize for their client. And now you have to deal with that component and aspect of it as if you're on the professional level. Now, as far as Anthony Dunn, Anthony Dunn came out as a 3-star defensive lineman out of Sanford Seminole High School, went to Marshall as a freshman. And then, I think he got nudged or whatever the case may be. But we have a friend up there in Ralph Street, former defensive line coach, and I guess he may have gotten directed down to FAMU. And so he's had to blossom here. So, yeah, he's going to get, he's got the size measurables and the talent to really reel in some offers for some teams. He could be like the next Jared Verse or someone along that ilk that may go to a Power 5 team and just really, really show out and put himself in the best position. And that might be the model that's being sold to him or being used, like a Jared Verse or the other gentleman who went to Florida State. I can't remember his name right now, but he came from another small school in last year and really showed out. And so, that could be the model, that is being propped in front of him in terms of this could be you. And I think he at least has maybe 1, maybe 2 years left of eligibility.
Yeah.
So, best of luck to him if he decides to jump in the portal, and if he goes somewhere, don't begrudge anyone looking to better themselves in that opportunity. But I did allude to it. I don't have the file because it's too large because of the graphic. But we do have 18 signees. And just if we were to recap the early signing period, and 8 of them were transfers, FBS transfers, 7 were high school, 2 were FCS transfers, and 1 from JUCO. The one JUCO was the defensive lineman, so that shows an area of need. And we've had some recent verbals, and if I can I'll pull it up here in terms of the verbal commitments. Yes.
Marcus, before you get those verbals, of those 18 that you're talking about, do you have the breakdown on which side of the ball they are? I mean, on offense,
actually, I do. Let me pull signing statistics. Yes. 1 athlete, 2 defensive backs, 2 DE tight ends, 1 linebacker, 2 offensive linemen, 2 QBs, 1 running back, 3 wide receivers, and 2 kickers/punters.
So sounds like a majority of those were on the offensive side of the ball. Nice, just keeping that tally in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So on the defense, we have 2 DBs, 1, 2, 3. So it looks like 6, 7 on the defensive side of the ball. So the rest of them would be on offense, or one could go either way.
Specialty, but most of those sound like
yes, Mr. Campbell.
Skill positions.
We didn't sign him. We got a verbal commitment, Mr. Campbell.
Yeah,
unless you know something we don't.
Yeah, but most of those that you mentioned sound like there was skill. I heard 2 offensive linemen, but it sounded like just about everything else was skill, specialists like the kickers and stuff like that. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no. Recent commitments we've had since signing day. I didn't tally up how many we have, but we have a linebacker from Michigan, Jerome Nichols, Clyde Pender, a defensive lineman who started out at University of North Carolina and went JUCO. So we do have some help there providing, and I have these as commitments because until they sign on the dotted line or show up in camp, we can't really include them in the number, but we're kind of keeping an eye on them. Linebacker Adrian Owens coming in from Lamar University. Most recently, Marquez Bell from the state of Florida, Columbia High School and Lake City, 3-star wide receiver, and received all-state honors in class of 2020. Quay Davis, once again, we mentioned it earlier, coming over from Texas Southern by way of Jackson State, by way of Skyline High School in Dallas, Texas. Jaron Fox is the person that Mr. Campbell's mentioning in terms of a linebacker, and he's kind of sort of a homeboy. He's from Cordele, Georgia, from Crisp County, so he's not too far. So I do recall that Coach Colsey mentioned during his early interviews after being hired that they really wanted to hit South Georgia, keep Florida, but also look at JUCOs, look at Texas, but also kind of explore the South Georgia area as well, in addition to keeping strongholds in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and South Florida. So that looks to bode well there. Yesterday, we got the commitment from Carter Johnson, another tight end, so that gives us a strong tight end group. And that's all we have so far, but we still have those 6 or 7 offers within the last 10 days or so to defensive linemen. Either there's at least 1 high schooler, a few JUCO bounce backs, and a couple of FBS transfers. And actually, we just had 1 offer this evening to another defensive lineman, Carlos Allen, my homeboy out of Atlanta, played Douglas High School, class of 2020. He's planning on entering his name in the portal on April 15th, and he was swiftly given an offer today by FAMU football. So that's another defensive lineman that we're trying to add to the mix.
And everybody needs to keep something in mind. We talk about these kids who transferred out, and with these kids in the portal. This is the last year for that COVID exception for a lot of these kids. So, a lot of people have a year of eligibility left, but they already have their degree. So these people are hitting they're hitting the portal, not only just looking for playing time in football, but also looking for educational opportunities. They may have been playing at a school that does not offer a graduate degree in the field that they want to get. So let's not all just talk about these kids hitting the portal with no skills or something like that. Some of these people are making portal decisions for other reasons, educational reasons, and using their football to go ahead and get that extra year of school paid for, because that's what the COVID year allowed. So let's make sure we're looking at the whole picture when we talk about these kids in the portal, include some of our players who have transferred out via the portal, who still have that year of eligibility left due to COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anyone who's an incoming freshman class of 2019 to 2020, this may be their last opportunity in order to use that COVID exception. So I think General
2021 also.
Oh, that one counts as well? Okay.
Yeah, that's your COVID. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other thing, I haven't done a deep dive, but I know we've talked about it, myself and Kelvin and Brian, that based on the offers and the signees, it looks like we're really investing in the trenches, and it would appear as though, the intent is to play a little bit of bully ball, between the investment in the running game, the sturdiness there, the offensive line, the defensive line, getting that shored up just by the offers that, we're looking to reload and make sure that we're definitely have talent on the front line of both offense and defense.
Yeah.
At least that's the way it appears.
And to answer EA's question, yes, I do believe that. Not in every case, but there are a number of kids, a smaller number of kids out there who, because the institution does not have what they need to do, and they don't want to just, because they know they're not going to play pro football, so they don't want to just take an opportunity to just go to grad school just to get some BS degree. They want to get a real degree where they can feed their family in the future. Yes, I know, because I work in college athletics right now. There are a number of kids that I know that have chosen to go into the portal or to transfer schools just based on the educational opportunity. Believe it or not, some of these kids still go to school to actually get a degree, whether y'all think so or not. They are going to school to actually get a degree to set themselves up for the rest of their life. I'm sorry, Kelvin. Go ahead.
No, man, we got to let you go enjoy your birthday, man. Get your birthday drink. But but the only thing I wanted to add before we close the show was that I think they feel like, and they being our football coaches as a staff, as they do the roster management, I think they feel like they recruited well with the skill positions, right? And I think they're correct with that. Remember, we got a lot of young guys who didn't get a chance to play over the last year or two, who were really highly rated coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
But now is their time. Now is their opportunity. And we heard a couple of the names mentioned today, as a matter of fact, on today's show. So I think we feel good about the talent. We still gonna supplement, but we feel good about the skill positions. And on the O line, we got so many returning that I think we're good with what we already signed. But we'll see how the portal plays out for us. If you look at me at basketball, SWAC basketball, right? Basketball in general, but SWAC basketball, almost all the best players on all the daggum teams, all in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And not just the ones who lost their coaches, right? So this is the new norm. This is the new reality. So I just hope we all maneuver through it well.
Hey, Kelvin, you know something? we're in the state of Florida. We have Florida in our name. I don't worry about the skill positions when I talk about FAMU football, because I got a 4-4 right out there on the stoop. If I can't sign the one that's right out there on the stoop, I got another 4-4 right up the block. If I can't get the one right up the block, I can get that 4-4 around the corner. Man, we got 4-4s. We got skill players for days in the state of Florida. What I worry about is, can we get those trenches guys? Can we get that 300-pound offensive lineman? Can we get that 280-pound defensive lineman? Can we get that big tight end, or that we can split out and throw the ball up to? I don't worry about running back. I don't worry about quarterback. I don't worry about D-back. Not when our school is in Florida. Not when we have Florida in our name, and damn sure not when they come to the highest of 7 Hills. But can we get the big uglies up in Tallahassee to block for those skill guys? That's what I've always worried about when it comes to FAMU football.
Agreed. Rattler Nation, the weather's supposed to be beautiful. Lows in mid 50s, highs in the low 80s, 80s, 79 on Saturday. No rain. So the weather's going to be awesome. I believe softball is at home because baseball is at Mississippi Valley. So softball has a double hitter, I think, at 1 and 3 on Saturday. So there's a couple of concerts around town. I know. So there's a lot of activities that are going to be happening this weekend. So come on out, enjoy the weather. Let's pay out $15 to help supplement the budget. Parking is free. Parking is free. You can tailgate. Parking is free. You can tailgate. So let's have fun. We'll be out there.
Jackson State for softball this weekend, everybody. Yeah. 4 o'clock Friday is a single, and 12 and 2 on Saturday is your double. So, and don't forget, I think they got the breakfast with Cozy on is that Friday or Saturday? That's Saturday morning. What's the Friday event? I don't have my script in front of me.
The ring ceremony.
Thank you.
The ring ceremony.
There's a Friday event going on. Anything else you want to get out of here before we hit the road, Kelvin?
I'm good.
All right. One around, Marcus. Last comments.
No, everything I got. Hopefully I can get this file up so people can keep track of at least the PowerPoint of the signees and the commitments so far. But we still need to fill up those defensive trenches.
All right. My last thing, first of all, once again, I want to thank everybody for the birthday shout outs. I really do appreciate it for the opportunity. The Lord has blessed me with another opportunity to make a revolution around the sun. He's kept me here for a reason. Hopefully I can make a difference in someone's life. And right now, that difference is being here on the O&G StrikeZone, Black College Sports Network, BCSN Sports Rap. That's just part of the difference that I hope that I am making with my life. Also talking about making a difference. I know I made a difference in one young lady's life. You know where I'm going with this, y'all. Morgan Hunter, I need y'all to go ahead and to this last time that I'm going to ask y'all this, at least for today. Go ahead and vote for Morgan. She's sitting in second place right now. We don't come on now, y'all. We Rattlers. We don't do second places when Rattlers get out to support somebody. So we need to make sure that we can get her in the first place. So I need each and every Rattler out there within the sound of my voice to vote for my former basketball player. Led the GCAC in offensive rebounds two of her 4 years that she played at Tougaloo. Started all 4 years while she was there at Tougaloo. Want to remind everyone, please hit the like, subscribe button if you have not made a donation to the show. Please do so. That birthday gift that you would normally give me, that you would put in my hand, Make it out to the O&G StrikeZone. Go ahead, put that donation to the O&G StrikeZone. We want to make sure that we get some love here, so that we continue doing what we do, because this is a labor of love, everybody. That's because we love the orange and green. If you do the hours and everything else that we put in to putting this show together, you would really appreciate it. Even though you don't see me on the show as often as I wish I could be, I'm still watching this show every week. I'm commenting, I'm chatting, I'm giving them, I'm shooting information to the guys. So once again, hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and on Instagram. Make sure you download the Jericho Broadcasting app. You can search MyJBN/MyBCSN on Google Play and the Apple App Store. And make sure you tune into the BCSN Pod Zone, available anywhere that you listen to podcasts: Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, and so much more. Shout out to Brian. Hopefully those kids haven't ran him ragged. I know he's probably got some Tylenol and some of everything else going on, trying to get through. He said he's going to try to make it up for the game on Saturday, though, because he should be back at a good time.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So, for your regular host, Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rosen, Marcus Green, this is the birthday boy, AD Drew, saying, bangs up. Peace out, everybody. Travel light. We'll holler. We out of here, Rattler Nation.